The niceness went unwelcome, never there to thought. Never shall we have ourselves as the root cause of having it all. Bought to you like stuff. Never go out of the way for other people. That means that nothing has to fathom above all else, right? No way. That must be before this chapter about bluffing yourself. No one has ideas that linger to the thought and made it about, when not knowing, other people care. Can go out their way to fathom just the root cause of it. I know now. It's not even to portray yourself after, the perfect Polly at 14 has it we might care enough to know the truth. Anybody can know now, can't care for it. Long enough, until it has become a separate issue now. To others, and the like. My facts as well count. That's when I left, the first time to Latin America, you think? No, it's to Southeast Asia, and the mind knows what it wants. To tie over another situation at hand. Never keep the bluff short for long. It's to muster the chance we as human beings know the facts. That by then I had, going through puberty. Never to shower with intention. That's how we made ourselves, welcoming that the old me exist. Michael first called the old Polly, you think? No, it's actually I myself, think at old age to talk past me. I dog cut self, to the lingering essence of Michael, that's all. Why when it's time to worship one another we love to keep bluffing. Loyalty comes at a price, no one has it, it plays out. Not to be the bearer of demise. It's okay to let others in. Shed a bit of light towards them. And confirming the suspicion that was the traits the paradox me writes in his book 2. That it's just petty to walk a life. Escape, that's all. Suspicion is something no one expects to be another power. It can be said that the leader has suspense. That was a line that I used to have worshippers in the form of my friends Adam and Jamie. They never stray from a sleepover, you think? But that's not what we do. We gather to smoke pot, and now it's legal. No one get me for that, and I'd love to every minute in writing that. To show his own has life govern, not a factor of it all. They stayed by idly by, that is. Without a life leading to what you want out of smoking marijuana to cultivate culture. Might as well tell you it all started as the old Polly at 14. That is the star in the sky of spirit flying. That is a nod at weed being legal. Now I know there's other things to do. Not saying that's all to life. There's riches foretold that God themselves know not to trifle with vanity's affairs. Even if it's the end of the post-apocalyptic age. When COVID-19 in 2021 posed an epidemic agenda worldwide. And worldwide, to cause a lot of grief for families, not including ours. As survivors. While some know never to trifle, and regret nothing. That's the reason life opened doors, I keep saying, to ease the guilt trip. Not to say all 14-year-olds should all do that. Not to care for what's more we get out of life to make matters worse. Now I trifle that, today at old age it's practically abundant in all, full of style. To look cool, and the sole reason we hung out. Not to look the part, only. It's in case I find that no one even helps the elderly with arthritis. Arthritis. Now that autism is out of the way. Some people have, and health is no exception. That's why we don't know it, but weed kills your adrenaline. Study says, you think? No, one wants to just cure an old people's disease. For now we'd manifest all in getting around to it. Shops open in every corner and love life. To rep hippies. That's my family's worstest fear. I go out and come back clouded with thought from toxin and love to look around for food at the house. The moral is never clear when haze covers your persona and live life regretting trying it once. The moral code needs again to be mentioned here. They love to shill that stuff on media. For the young masses that get to go out. But the old me can care that I myself have the limitations of an Asian family. Ripping apart the fabric of closed quarter circles. That tells you we get high, anyway we liked to. And when it's over and done with, the likes of Michael didn't seem to think the old Polly was anyone. The thought of Polly, which is an avenger, protect your friends. Whilst, at his house, the room was littered with cover and ashes, everywhere. Now it's been told me he can do that because he's white. His mom understands, not like my mom or anything, the likes. More or less Polly is mentioned as a weed smoker. Now more than anything they say a band was going to start, with people poppers is Fernando. Never let them tell you, too off, while weed is on the plate, I like it more than feeding my stomach. That's to know it's over. Has the masses after COVID cared, their rich would resort to pot toking. The likes and such. Never leave his house right after. That's all we did to bring the roof down. Without another person to tell you otherwise. Never let them tell you. Right, Montgomery Burns, from The Simpsons? Never should care, not can't care. Just play it off, not like Hank Hill from King of the Hill? Never play the dwarf father of that man. In cartoons, who has a shred of dignity, not honor. This is not the life we lead altogether. When, in doubt, prayer to God to, never vanquishing foes. The sorta like from the bottom of the barrel, and to whom it may concern. Never to see the light of day. And never have doubts shrouded enough to hear the end of the story. Why else are we governed each day to live the life we lead? Never have I known my life can change for the better. It all started in the depths of despair. Each night I slept over at Michael's was a new day. In his room on the floor. He sleeps on the mattress, or not that, he has others telling him that. That I am a governor of my own destiny. When weed smoke filled up his room, lined with the process it takes to never falter. Now that I think the days I rue from 2016 throughout 2019, I know that being a sum of no one dares tell back time. Why, that's the way I understand I was, 25 going on 30. To preach not that I was with that guy throughout my life. That's when I left, and to tell the story never coming back from my neck of the woods to the ghetto place that's his home. At Wilshire, you think? But no, it's Figueroa. I was in Cambodia throughout those years. It took me a while to get accustomed to life without us to govern it. I have no one but myself. And no one followed me to the brink, you think. No one knows who you are as a bluffer. When life opened doors enough to change the fact that we ourselves know that. Why else have they spent days at my commander uncle's chap 50 to be the worst? I can recall coming to an uncle that loved me, you think? No, for that reason I lost someone dear to me. Was the great uncle. Forget his name. It's Cambodian, and it's rude to mention an old person's name in Cambodia. That's to tell the life leading to this has many unopened doors, questions, and not long enough for things to fly out on accord. That's the life I had to lead until my uncle imprisoned me in the following years, I wrote down. At first, in 2021, I was at his place and spent almost up to 10 years there. 5 first of all, to count the days I don't see the light, till now. God bestowed on me and shed light like nobody's business. And made life unfathomable. To say the least. Why I can care when his bluffing was loud and obnoxious, at best. That's befitting the pieces I left behind, myself. To live with him. He comes in day in and out from his army base to relax on a high chair. I carried a heavy wooden chair in the afternoon and mornings to him. To his utmost tempt to tense. Tense is a Michael word, you think? But no, he got it from the gods. With the voice of the subconscious I unlock on my own. And to no one has sufficed to idle and tend for long. Never mustered enough courage to rule out anything other than that. If the right push for a strong ox to wield. Why words have to go out with a bang? If things don't fathom up to thought. No one cares for you is not on the agenda. But that's how I was to myself. Never have it in you to know who's in command of your destiny, at hand? Never even lead to let bygone be bygone. And never sit and wait for things to fly by. Never regret anything. The likes in that outweighs the masses. The masses that controls over all else. And I'm writing and adding stuff of to little need. That's given life lead to shine a beacon of hope. God's bane. And the matter I enjoy to cultivate it in this time. And make life's endless endeavors a thing of the past, that'll would suffice. And make life leading the pace it went. No more. And make life's grand endeavors what we sought after. This is a testimony and life leads for you that. We mention the thought of Polly's by Michael's circus, parlor and trick? And make it you know yourself. But, the thought of Polly's could be summed up as an avenger protecting everyone close to him. And that's the truth you lay down. At the house that's Michael's. No one gets out alive is nothing. There's a rapist, a slut, a tired of woman Guy Felix, a serial killer, you think? No, a guy that wants to end his life actually. And two molested people tagging his brother. Who's he's in love with his brother.